friends. I'm Jennifer All, and today's Daily Hope begins our journey through the book of Romans. This is an extraordinary theological masterpiece. Great minds like Augustine, Martin Luther, John Wesley, they all refer to Romans as a pivotal point in their personal testimonies for understanding who God is and what Jesus has done for us. So we are in for a treat. This is Paul's most comprehensive presentation of the gospel message in all of his writings. It's really extraordinary because as Paul writes most of his letters, he's writing to a group of believers that already know him really well and he knows them. He was instrumental in the founding of their church. But Romans is different. Rome, he hasn't even gotten to go there yet. He hasn't visited them. And he's so eager to give them the full gospel presentation because it's Rome. Think of it. At that time, Rome was considered the center of the world. Its significance and influence was far-reaching. It was the hub of power, law, education, culture. If you were given a megaphone to the masses, if you had the opportunity to let one of your videos go viral, what would you want to say? For Paul, that's the book of Romans. So he is going to lay out the full gospel right here in this book. And the first part of the book, he spends talking about how it is faith in Jesus Christ alone that saves us. And the second part of the book is all about how that faith transforms the way we live. So today we are diving in and looking at chapters 1 and 2. And in Paul's presentation of the gospel, he starts with us, the plight of humanity. And simply put, humanity is a sinful mess. He says that God has made himself so apparent, so evident all around us, and yet we suppress the truth by our wickedness. He says in chapter 1, verse 21, I'll pick up, he says, humanity knew God, yet they neither glorified him as God nor gave thanks to him, but their thinking became futile and their foolish hearts were darkened. Although they claimed to be wise, they became fools. And get this, humanity exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images made to look like mortal man. Verse 25 sums it all up. He says, they exchanged the truth of God for a lie and worshiped and served created things rather than the Creator. That's why we are in the mess we are in. We have chosen ourselves above all else. We have chosen ourselves above what is right and good and true, above others, above God. And this selfishness definitely makes us arrogant. We think that we are just on the throne and we have decided that we are judge and jury of everything else and everyone else around us. We are so good at pointing out the flaws in everything without recognizing our own sin and our own faults and failings. Just spend 30 seconds on social media or turn on the news and you can see that this pattern has not changed. We are so good at pointing fingers and criticizing and blasting others without taking any responsibility for our own culpability. Let me be the first in line to confess my own hypocrisy, that I am a sinner. I am a part of this. I am a mess. I am broken and flawed. I'm holding myself to account as I read Paul's words here. So I'm asking myself and I'm asking you today, in what ways am I quick to think that everyone else is wrong but I'm right? In what ways have I been critical of others and yet have made excuses for myself? In what ways have I chosen a created thing over the Creator? Now, are you ready for some good news in the middle of all this sinfulness? When we stop and acknowledge our true state of brokenness, when we just admit this, we stop suppressing God's voice. Humility often allows us to hear. And what we will hear when we humble ourselves and lean in, we will hear God say, "Turn and come back to me. Let me be God. Let me show you my righteousness, not your own. I alone can save you from yourselves. I want to save you. I still love you." Because that's the good news of the gospel. As Paul says in chapter 1, 16 through 17, he says the gospel is the power of God for the salvation of everyone who believes. For in the gospel, a righteousness from God is revealed, a righteousness that is by faith from first to last, a righteousness that comes faith alone, not because we save ourselves, but because we have a good, kind, and loving God who saves us from ourselves. So today, my friends, I just encourage you to own your stuff, for us to just fall on our knees in humility and acknowledge who we are. And in doing so, let us soak in that gift of his mercy and his grace. Let's stop exchanging his goodness, his truth, his glory for a lie that looks like us. Instead, let's let God be God and bask in his grace and his mercy for sinners like you and me. I hope that's a word of hope for you today. And ladies, if you would like to join us, our women's ministry is just beginning our study through the book of Galatians. You can check out our website for more details. It's not too late to jump on with us. And all my friends, I hope I see you soon.